And she was like, well, I said, what is it? Is it worse? She said, well, I can't tell you. I just got to get this to the doctor. And so it took her longer. She kept looking and looking, and I'm like, looking at my back now. She ain't even up on the front. It's like she was searching for something. So when I got in there with the doctor came in there, and he sat down, he looked at me. He looked at the nurse and looked at me. He said, have you had your cycle? And I'm like, wait a minute. I've been under this man for years. I've got my ovaries, I got my tubes, I got everything. I just don't have a uterus. So therefore, with your cycle, it's the breakdown of your uterine wall or whatnot. So he should know that I hadn't had a cycle in years. So he's asking me if I had a cycle. I'm like, no, I don't have those. He's like, well, I see right here that you're not supposed to. He said, but I don't see that big cyst. And he said, we looked and searched. He said, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. If something comes out of my body, I don't think it's small. I'm gonna know. And he's like, you sure you didn't pass it? And I'm like, I ain't passed nothing in the toilet. I didn't pass anything. He said, well, He said, I see a little something peeking out the side. He said, but that's not the one. He said, those are the others. Like I said, we can get cysts and they can disappear every so often. But this one right here, I don't think it was going anywhere, but by the grace of God, he removed it. I didn't have to have no operation or anything. And the doctor was just, I jumped up and I shouted. And he was just kind of blown away. I said, it was nobody but God. And he didn't want to, he was like, I don't know. He was like confused as to what happened. And I just thank and praise God for that. And with Mom just looking at me just a minute ago, that wasn't the testimony that I don't share.
Tell that one too, baby.
Man.
Glory.
Y'all know I love my babies, all three of them. And I would do anything in the world for even that hard-headed son of mine. They're all healthy and all good, but almost 2 years ago, most of y'all know Chris was in a bad wreck.
Yes, we do. Tell the baby.
Head north on Jefferson Avenue. I don't know if you guys, if you're heading north on Jefferson, like you're getting ready to go to Sugar Hill, there's a dangerous curve there. And if you're not paying attention, if you're new and you just going through and it's like if it's not any light out or anything, because they didn't even have reflectors over there. Going down that part of the road, if you're not familiar with the surroundings, you can miss it and drive off the road. So me and his dad were together and we got a phone call. And it was a lady, she said, your son has been in a really bad car wreck. She said, we don't know what happened, but me and my husband were driving down the road and we looked up and we saw the truck flipping in the air. And when she said that, I lost it. And then she gave the phone to Chris and he was talking, and so I regained my composure. And so I said, I'm on my way, where are you? And so the lady got back on the phone, she told us where it was. And so we were like at Walgreens, and Gary was driving, and I heard the ambulance, and I told him, you ain't driving fast enough, maybe I need to get up there and drive. He said, 2 of us need to be in no bad accident. I said, well, you can't get there fast enough. We saw the police, we saw the ambulance, we saw fire trucks, everything going fast. And so when we get there, Chris was laying in the road. And when I hear the lady, she called me back and she told me how everything went. It did something to me. And not just that, getting there at the scene of the accident, y'all, you would not have believed it. And I know God had me. Chris doesn't usually travel with a seatbelt on, but he had his seatbelt on. And the thing about it, when the lady, she talked to me later on, she said, I don't know how he's here. She said, I'm gonna tell you what we saw. And it was a white couple. They were really friendly people. They made sure he was good and everything before the officers got there. They said he's good. Chris didn't have any drugs or alcohol in his system. Praise God for that. But she said that they were driving down the road and all of a sudden they looked up and they saw this big truck, because that was like an F-150. It's pretty big, not the biggest, but it's not like a little old teeny tiny truck. It's that old work truck that Dad used to have. And she said they looked up and saw it flipping in the air several times. And she said when it landed, from what they saw, she said they heard something like it was getting ready to blow. She said she looked at her husband and she said, honey, we know that whoever's inside, they're already dead. She said, but at least if we can just get out and run to the truck and drag his body or her body out, at least the body won't blow up inside the truck. Wow. So she said they jumped out and they started walking fast towards the truck. And she said that they stopped in their pathway and looked and saw a little head peek up out the side window and crawl out the window of the truck. And, you know, she said that there's no way he should have made it out there. For one, he had his seatbelt on. Chris said he saw his light flashing before his eyes while he was in the air. And the thing about it, I don't know, I've showed a lot of you the pictures, I'm going to share again. The truck was flat, and the cab of the truck, it was like dipped down, like a sharp, like the top of it, right over his head. And with his seatbelt on, that should have crushed his head or crushed him. You know, it was right there where he sat, the dip down in it, the front of the truck was flat and everything. And so I looked at the truck and I'm like, he couldn't have had his seatbelt on because he would have been dead. He had to be laying over on the other side or something because with him as tall as he is, Chris is over 6 feet tall. This accident should have taken him out. And then if he didn't have his seatbelt on, he would have been thrown out of the truck. I'm like, Lord, I don't understand. But with the policeman and the firemen check everything out and say, they don't know how he made it and how he got out. They've seen, you know, amazing things. But when I tell you, one of the firemen, he was our neighbor for a long time. And every time he would see me, he'd ask about me. He said, are you sure he's okay? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's been a long time. Why are you still asking me? He said, I just can't believe he made it out of there. Wow. National Night Out, he was over where I live now. He came up to me. He said, you know what? He said, we talked about that for a long time. He said, I know he's alive and everything. He said, me and my buddies, we don't understand how you made it out of that wreck. He said, you see how that truck was messed up? I'm like, yeah. He said, he didn't break anything. I said, he didn't break me, he scratched his finger. I said, yeah, he had the seatbelt on because it cut his chest. So that's proof that he had the seatbelt on. He said, man, he said, I just don't understand. And this was like several months later. And so I just thank and praise God for that. Despite how we act up and how we do things, if God has a mission for us, we may go through the storm and we may go through trials and tribulations. We are going to go through trials and tribulations because we have to pray to God. If we didn't go through anything, we wouldn't have a reason to believe in God. That's right. So with God spared my son's life, and you know, he's gotten a whole lot better. He's still immature, got a lot of growing up to do. But I just thank God for that because he should be here. And I got proof of that. And I'm just, my prayer, nothing but love. And Mom will always say, and I know it was her prayers, my prayers, everyone praying for him. She'd be like, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for him. You know, a lot of times people say that they're going to pray for you and they don't. They just say it because it's cliche, hey, I'm praying for you. And they really don't. So a lot of times I pray on the spot for people, most of the time, you know, when I'm able to. But I just thank God for this congregation. I thank God for Mom and Dad. I love you too. But I got a lot of testimonies under my belt. And in due time, I'm going to be able to tell them all. And I know I have kind of been slacking up a little lately. You know, to be honest, I got a lot on me right now. And I was just, I don't want to say depression. I'm just kind of slipping into another zone where sometimes I don't even feel like baking because it's so overwhelming until the devil's like, well, you got hundreds and hundreds of people waiting, so just don't bake for anybody. Just sit there. And I'm like, well, Lord, I said, this is my only income. If I don't bake, I don't make. Yes. And I said, God, you gifted me to be able to do this. I'm never sick. Let me just, gotta have a moment. You know, when you're cooking and stuff like that, you can't be, I don't believe in cooking when someone is sick. You gotta have patience and all that. You can't be overwhelmed because me, myself, if I'm overwhelmed, I don't want to bake because I'm not baking with love. My mind is somewhere else and my product doesn't come out the same. But just keeping me healthy where I don't have the flu or just stomach bugs keeping my sanity and being able to think and pray every day. And even if I'm doing it alone, I just thank God because you guys have no idea. I get messages all night long through my inbox text, and I'm like, you sitting up here thinking about cookies at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you texting me asking me, is there any way I'll pay extra, I'll pay double,
Eat for the belly for the meat.
all of this. And I want to work on something sugar-free because, sugar's not good unless it's used in a small amount. But there's so many things under my belt. God sends things to me all throughout the night. I'm constantly waking up with thoughts in mind. But as my sister Tammy said, cookies ain't the only thing. That's just kind of like a door that God is allowing people to come to me because I got a lot of word too. I've got a book under my, I got a lot. But if y'all can just keep me in prayer and stuff so I can get back on the road. I haven't been making much lately, but God even sends people to donate to me, and I thank God for this. I finally got my spot for my bake shop. I'm leasing a building. He's already, gotten a lot of things that have to be done, like my business license has to be gotten out of the way, which I had someone donate me money to go towards my business license, which they're very expensive, and different articles, and got to get my oven and different equipment, and it's just I didn't realize it was so much into getting a business and being legit because I'm not fixing to do something illegal. You got to pay for being able to sell, your sales tax, inspectors. It's a lot. And like I said, if I don't bake, I don't make. So I'm like, Lord, where's this money gonna come from? He said, I gave you the hands to be able to do this. It's not my fault that you decide to, not trust me and just sit there and not do it. So y'all just pray my strength that I can get everything together and keep moving forward because I'm on my way, y'all. And I thank God for it and give me the gift.
I would say this to you. You run the business, don't let the business run you. Because if there is, if you're not here, there won't be a business.
Amen. Thank you.
I said, if you're not here to make the cookies, there won't be a cooking.
Thank you.
So you run the business. Don't be overwhelmed. You got to take it at your pace, at your time. Your rest is important. Your quality time with your family is important. You need to set days you will bake and give yourself a day off. And it can get on to Sundays. What you can't make on those days, God will make up for you in multiplication and in offering. You see, God said, if you give, I give back to you. Press down, shaking together, running over a man, give you